10 retired military transports are about to get a second life, and their new cargo will be a red wall designed to buy firefighters time. On August 7, 2026, Canada announced the conditional sale of 10 retired CC-130H Hercules aircraft to Coulson Aviation. After civilian certification, Coulson plans to convert, maintain, and operate them as large air tankers. The deal is still conditional, but the engineering question is already fascinating. Why is an old military transport so valuable over a Wildfire? Start with the airframe. The Hercules was designed to carry heavy loads, use rough dirt strips, and keep working far from perfect infrastructure. Its high wing gives the engines extra ground clearance. Its large cargo bay was built around mission equipment. A United States Air Force baseline lists 42,000 pounds, about 19 metric tons, as the maximum allowable payload for a C-130H. That strength matters because retardant is dense. Coulson says its RADS XXL system can carry as much as 4,000 US gallons, roughly 15,100 liters. The cockpit system can control flow rate and coverage instead of simply releasing the entire load at once. That does not mean every mission carries the maximum. Fuel, temperature, elevation, runway length, and operating rules all affect the load, but it explains why a transport aircraft makes such a useful starting point. The conversion is much more than fitting a tank and painting the tail red. The structure and systems must be inspected. Firefighting equipment, plumbing, and cockpit controls must be integrated. Engineers must recalculate weight and balance. Then the modified aircraft must be tested and certified. Coulson says the removable tank itself can be installed or removed in under an hour. Canada estimates that converting each complete aircraft will require about 20,000 labor hours. Then comes the mission. The tanker is filled at an air tanker base. A lead aircraft or airborne coordinator can identify the target and guide the run. The Hercules descends toward terrain, smoke, and unstable air while the crew holds a precise line. At the release point, the doors open, and thousands of gallons leave the aircraft in seconds. The red cloud is dramatic, but it is not a giant fire extinguisher. Large air tankers support firefighters on the ground. Retardant is normally laid ahead of the advancing fire onto vegetation the flames have not reached yet. Its chemistry reduces how easily that fuel burns, even after the water has evaporated. The red color lets crews see exactly where the line landed. It is not an instant extinguisher or an unbreakable wall. Wind, slope, vegetation, and drop accuracy can decide whether that line helps. Aircraft do not replace ground crews. They create time and options for them, and every kilogram changes the aircraft. A heavy tanker needs more runway, climbs more slowly, and must still keep enough margin to maneuver. Mountain valleys can funnel wind. Smoke can hide ridges. Turbulence can move both the aircraft and the retardant. That is why the spectacular drop is only the visible end of a much larger system. Maintenance, dispatch, weather analysis, coordination, and trained crews. The Hercules brings another advantage: decades of global support knowledge, spare parts, and operators familiar with the type. It was built to be reconfigured for different missions, which is exactly what this second life demands. Canada retired 12 of these aircraft in January 2026. 10 are now part of the conditional sale. The other 2 are intended for public display. If the approvals and conversions are completed, the working aircraft will not be museum pieces. They will return to the sky with a completely different payload. A machine built to move troops and cargo will instead carry a temporary barrier against fire. Same high wing. Same 4 turboprops. Same rugged structure. New mission. Not every retired aircraft deserves another life, but when the airframe, engineering, and mission align, retirement can be the beginning of the most important chapter.